I'm going to show you just a little bit about how I use my depth gauges inside hollow forms and bowls. Hi, I'm Trent Bosch. Today I wanted to just take a minute and talk to you a little bit about my line of depth gauges or depth finders. What they do is they allow you to figure out exactly where the bottom of your form is, whether it be a bowl or a hollow form or platter or any object you're really trying to figure out where the inside bottom of that form is. These depth finders really work out pretty good. So I have three different sizes. We have the green one, which is 20 inches, and the dimension that I'm mentioning is the length of that anodized aluminum piece, as well as the depth at which you should be able to test and check into. So that entire depth of that form. So 20 inches is a pretty big one, but it can also do much smaller forms as well. So we got a 20-inch one. We have a 16-inch one, which is the blue one, and we have a 12-inch unit, which is the red one. And they are all pretty much identical. They have the two sort of ports that we can use. The center one is the one I would typically use for checking a bowl, because when we check a bowl, let me grab a bowl real quick. When we check a bowl, we want it to butt up against both sides of that rim of that bowl. And that allows us to check the depth of that bowl. When we check a hollow form, you could use this one, or you could actually use the end one, which will allow you in that hollow form to just go ahead and check the depth like that, tighten it down, and then check it there. So what that secondary one is really nice for is it allows us to do a very large hollow form and still check that depth with this small depth finder. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. They're super simple to use, and they're just pretty stout anodized aluminum tools and work great. So I'm just going to quickly show you one on a hollow form that I have mounted on the lathe and exactly how I would use it. So on this small form, I might just use that center position. I'm going to run it all the way forward until it bottoms out on the bottom of the form, and then I'm going to tighten that knob down. I'm then going to bring that knob or that whole unit back and just set the flat part of that tool on the opening of that form. And I'm going to take my eye and I'm going to look down at the end of that straight down, and that's going to give me an idea about where my bottom is in this form, and basically let me know if I'm where I need to be with this or not. You can also use it once your piece is done. Say I have this piece that's done and I still want to check my depth. I like to do this. This is a pretty good trick. So we'll do the same thing. We'll push that rod all the way through until it bottoms out. And then what we can do is we can turn that form upside down on the bench or on the bed of the lathe, whatever you happen to be doing. And then we can just set that on the foot of the piece, and we can look at this dimension that is down here, and that will be the dimension of how much material we have left in the bottom there. That doesn't account for if there's a little bit of a dish in the bottom, but it does still give me a pretty good idea of what's going on and how much material I have in the bottom of that form. I do that same thing with bowls as well. So let's go ahead and do this with a bowl. Find that bottom, flip that bowl upside down, set it on that nice flat surface, and then I can see that distance that is in my bottom on that piece that's already off the lathe. I hope that helped explain a little bit about the depth finders and kind of understand how I use them in my shop. Feel free to subscribe or like or comment below. All those kind of things are all good. Please feel free to call me too if you have a question, or email me. See you next time.